I love that God acknowledges Jacob's fear. He says, don't be afraid. He doesn't shame him for it. He doesn't say, hey, real believers don't get scared. He meets Jacob where he is. His fear isn't a failure in God's account. Fear is part of being human. Joshua was afraid. Moses was afraid. Gideon was afraid. Esther was afraid. The disciples were afraid. And even Jesus experienced this deep anguish in Gethsemane where he's asking for what's about to happen, not to be what happens. But every one of them continued in obedience. Faith isn't the absence of fear. It is not the absence of fear. It's a phrase that's been around for a long time. It got a lot more popular during COVID, of this idea of faith over fear. Now, I believe in that. I'm not trashing faith over fear. My concern with that phrase is that it insinuates that fear must mean the absence of faith. But faith is not the absence of fear. Those are not mutually exclusive. They can exist in the same person. Faith is trusting God even while you are fearful. Even when fear is whispering in your ear, faith can drive out fear, most certainly. But the presence of fear does not mean the absence of faith. Sometimes we find ourselves fearful and we say, oh, I guess if I just have more faith. The fact that you're fighting that fear is evidence of the faith that you hold. We imagine faith means never asking questions or never feeling nervous or never wondering what's ahead. But what we see in the Bible is that biblical faith isn't pretending to be fearless. Biblical faith says, Lord, I don't know exactly what's ahead, but I know that you're the one leading me. There's a reason that Jacob worshiped before he moved forward. When we worship, it reminds us of who God is. When we focus on our circumstances, fear will grow. But when we focus on God, our faith will grow. Psalm 34, chapter 1 through 4 says this. Psalm 34, verse 1 through 4 says this. Says, I will praise the Lord at all times. I will constantly seek his praises. I will boast only in the Lord. Let all who are helpless take heart. Come, let us tell of the Lord's greatness. Let us exalt his name together. I prayed to the Lord, and he answered me. He freed me from all my fears. That's why worship isn't just singing the songs that we sing. It recenters our heart. It reminds ourselves that God is faithful. It's us saying he's good before we see the outcome that lets us know that he's good. It's choosing to trust him over the panic that we can sometimes feel.